I'm not ready.
All right. Keep talking. Yeah, well. Call this meeting of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology Student Association Senate order. Vice President Weed, take the roll.
Butcher.
Here. I'm not expecting you first.
Clausen.
Here.
Jensen. Jensen is not here. Jessen.
Here.
King. Here. Keel.
Here.
Lander.
Here.
Meyer.
Here.
St. James.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Severson.
Here.
And that is a quorum.
All right, setting out the agenda for everybody. It's pretty short tonight, pretty simple. Did y'all get a chance to just peruse that? Yeah? All right. All in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Agenda approved. All right, next order of business is resolutions that we're getting to. So I'll read this and we'll start. Resolution number 25S001, originated by myself, presented by myself. Whereas the Student Association Constitution states the Association Senate President shall appoint a CFO to be approved by the Student Association Senate. And whereas Jonathan Schock, to my right, has been found by the Senate President and Vice President to be a worthy candidate to fulfill the duties of the CFO, and therefore be it resolved by a 2/3 majority vote of the Student Association Senate and the signature of myself that for the 2025-2026 fiscal year term, Jonathan Schock be appointed to the position of CFO of the Student Association Senate. This will be a roll call vote. Excuse me. Any motions? Smith.
Motion to vote.
Vote, suspend the rules.
Motion.
Motion to suspend the rules, Senator Smith. Any seconds? Senator Syverson. All in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Abstain? All those opposed? None? Suspend the rules. Any other motions? Senator Smith.
Motion to vote.
Second by Senator Syverson. Is it Syverson or Severson?
Severson.
Severson. All right, I'll get it. All right, Vice President Lee, take the roll.
Butcher.
Aye.
Kent. Clausen.
Aye.
Jensen. Jessen.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Keel.
Aye.
Lander.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
St. James.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Severson.
Aye.
Motion passed.
All right. Thank you, Maddie, I appreciate it. All right. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. As a member of the Student Association Senate
As a member of the Student Association Senate
of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology,
of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology,
I state your name,
I, Jonathan Shaw,
do hereby affirm
do hereby affirm
to uphold the office of, state your position,
to uphold the office of Chief Financial Officer,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Where's that?
is the appointment of secretary. That will be resolution number 25S002, originated by myself, presented by myself. Constitution states the Student Association president shall appoint a secretary to be approved by the Student Association Senate. And whereas Madeline Seekman, she goes by Maddie, has been found by the student president, vice president, to be a worthy candidate to fulfill the duties of secretary. And therefore be it resolved by 2/3 majority vote of the Student Association Senate, the signature of myself, that for the 2025-2026 term, Maddie Seekman be appointed to the position of secretary of the Student Association Senate. Any questions? Any motions? Senator Keel.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Seconded by Senator Smith. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any other motions? Second
Motion to
by-
vote.
Seconded by Senator Mullen. Can he second? He's not officially here. Okay, so he can't second. Severson. He's coming. All right, Vice President Wade, take the roll. Please.
All right. On resolution 002, Kuchar.
Aye.
Clausen.
Aye.
Jessen.
Aye.
King. Keel. Leonard.
Aye.
Meyer. St. James. Smith.
Aye.
Severson.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right. Thank you, Bart. Would you raise your right hand and repeat after me? As a member of the Student Association Senate
As a member of the Student Association Senate
of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology,
of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology,
I, Maddie Seekman,
I, Madeline Seekman,
do hereby affirm
do hereby affirm
to uphold the office of secretary,
to uphold the office of secretary,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
and represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. All right, the next one we got, moving along here, is the appointment of special senators. That is going to be resolution number 25S003, Austin Lee, originated by both of us, presented by me. Whereas the Student Association Constitution states that the Student Association President shall appoint the following special senators to be confirmed by the Student Senate: graduate senator, non-trad senator, international senator, and veteran senator. And therefore, be it resolved by 2/3 majority vote of the Student Association Senate and the signature of myself that for the 2025-2026 term, the following students be appointed to their respective positions: Josiah Baumeister, graduate senator; Brian Kantz, non-traditional senator; Alexander Yumalovich, international senator; and Dane Lawrenson, veteran senator. Any motions?
I don't have a motion, I have a comment.
Okay.
I will be voting no on this, and I apologize to the graduate, non-trad, and international senators, but I feel that the veteran senators should actively represent the active duty military on campus, or formerly active duty military on campus, and clearly the veterans group is against this current appointment, and instead of pushing someone who I don't think is going to, no offense to Dane, represent the group well, I think we should wait and appoint a senator who will. I think ROTC is represented by black senators as well, because they are often younger, whereas active duty have gone through a lot of experiences that someone who hasn't been active duty doesn't. And so I would like to, I'm going to vote no on this, and I ask you all to do so as well.
Senator Smith?
I stand with Senator Leonard in this way she's doing this. I also apologize to the graduate, non-trad, international senator as well. But I do believe this should be separated and taken care of, and talks, have discussions with the Veterans Club, because they clearly don't feel comfortable with this candidate.
Senator Clausen?
Not to beat a dead horse, but I will also be voting nay. Once again, I apologize to all the other senators.
So just a comment that I have here myself. So to add some context to the situation, I appreciate the Veterans Club being here tonight. I had reached out to one of their people to consider being a veteran senator. And that person is here tonight at this meeting. I'm not sure as to if he told the Veterans Club that he was asked by myself to do that. He's a busy man, so he turned it down. And in the Constitution, it says that it can be a former service member or a member of ROTC. So I'm not, in my opinion, I feel like I'm not overreaching by pulling from ROTC. Over the past number of years, there has been a separation, sort of a distinct separation between ROTC and the vets. And I feel as though by appointing an ROTC member, it can better represent not just them, but also working with the vets to have their voices heard. So that's the meeting that we're at 5, and I are going to be setting up to talk with those Veteran Club people and to figure out the path forward for how they can feel better represented. But when it came down to it with appointing people, Dane was willing and ready to serve in that capacity, and I had no recommendation from the Veterans Club. They said that they always provide a recommendation. I had none. The person I talked to did not reach out to their Veterans Club respectively and offer recommendations. That is how I came to the conclusion of choosing Dane. Senator Lander.
And I think you tried to do your due diligence, and maybe the Veterans Club missed out somewhere, but I think you see now that they don't feel it's a good representative. And I think I can tell you personally, it's a cultural difference between an active duty member, military member, and someone who's in the National Guard or ROTC. It is a very distinct difference, and unless you've been on deployment or been active duty, I don't think you can relate to those experiences well. And I think we should wait to find someone who can better represent those that small group of different students on campus.
Vice President Weed.
So my reasoning was going with a veteran senator who represents ROTC primarily, is because I feel that the veterans are well represented by the non-traditional senator already. Many of the concerns that our veteran senators have brought up in the past have dealt with issues related to being a non-traditional student rather than being a veteran. So I feel like in terms of representation, I think we're covering our bases there. So I would strongly encourage you to vote to approve these appointments.
Any other comments or questions? Sure, just a question.
Question, who's the current senator who is a part of the Veterans Club?
The current representation you're asking for veterans senator?
No, the person that you reached out to.
I don't feel like I should disclose his name, just, I don't want 30 people reaching out to him. So, Senator Lander?
Was Senator Hill considered, or former Senator Hill considered for the position?
I had consulted between Vice President Lee and myself about Senator Hill, and he had not reached out. I did not reach out to him because we had other candidates that I felt could further excel in the position. I like to think that I'm wanting to keep stuff, fresh, keep people, up and stuff like that. And so we had a few different people reach out for this position. And I reached out to a number of people, and it just ended up that Dane was for me after reaching out. Senator Clausen.
I'd be okay with approving anyone as long as we run it back by, we have these meetings first to make sure that everyone's happy. We run it back by the Veterans Club, we run it through, run it by Dane, make sure he understands, and then if the Veterans Club is okay with Dane and they understand how everything happened, then I'd be perfectly okay with approving this. But as it stands, I'm still going to vote no.
Senator Clausen, follow-up question. Are you motioning to table this discussion?
I would motion table.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second? Senator Smith, is there a second? All in favor of motion or of tabling this resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Vote.
Just a question before do you want to just strike the veteran center nomination and table that right now, but still move forward with the other three so that they can vote on things? And I don't even know if that's appropriate, or do you want to table the entire motion and those three would not be able to vote yet?
would that be a friendly event, is my question.
No, that's not.
I feel like it alters the text of the bill too much to be considered a friendly event.
That's unfortunate. But I think she's right.
So,
And that's a roll call, correct? Or is that just all in favor?
It was a motion.
I think that's usually a roll call. We did a roll call for
Okay. So a roll call vote to table resolution. This will be S003. Mr. President, will you call the roll?
Butcher,
Nay.
Clausen,
A, or aye. A?
Jessen,
Nay.
King,
Aye.
Keel, aye. Leonard,
Aye.
Meyer,
Abstain.
Sanchez,
Nay.
Smith,
Aye.
Severson,
Abstain.
Is it DD? It's in the Constitution. There's a tie. DD.
So that would be my.
Vice President Lee.
I'm going to table this so that we can move forward with our other items of business.
Okay. Resolution S003 is tabled. Sorry, guys. We'll come back to it next week and get the approvals. In that week, I believe that we will also have time to meet with the Veterans Club. Next item of business is resolution number 25 S004, originated by myself, presented by myself. Vacancies exist for the office of sophomore senator and junior senator. And the Student Association Senate Constitution provides for vacancies to be filled by presidential appointment with approval by 2/3 majority vote of the Senate, and being resolved by 2/3 majority vote of the Senate. And the signature of myself that the 2025-2026 term, following students be appointed to their respective positions. Carson Byrne, sophomore senator, and Jack Halstead as junior senator. Any questions, concerns, or comments on this? Okay, any motions on this? Senator Smith.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Okay, do I have a second? Senator Lander, second. All right. Any other motion? Senator Keel.
Motion.
You second? Senator Clausen, second. Vice President Lee.
Butcher,
Aye.
Clausen,
Aye.
Jessen,
Aye.
King, aye. Keel, aye. Leonard,
Aye.
Meyer,
Aye.
Sanchez,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Severson.
Aye.
Okay. I'll have Carson go up first. You raise your right hand after me. As a member of the Student Association Senate
As a member of the Student Association Senate
of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology,
of the
SDSMT, I state your name,
I, Carson Burke,
do hereby affirm
do hereby affirm
to uphold the office of sophomore senator,
to uphold the office of sophomore senator,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Jack? Yeah, I'll speak slowly. Raise your right hand after me, please. As a member of the Student Association Senate of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology, I,
I, Jack Halter,
do hereby affirm
do hereby affirm
to uphold the office of junior senator,
to uphold the office of junior senator,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. All right, so now we're going to go back and do a formality before we carry on. This should have been taken care of with the previous administration, maybe, but we're going to swear in the senators that were voted on in the election. So can I have the sophomore senators come on up? All right. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. As a member of the Student Association Senate
As a member of the Student Association Senate
of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology,
of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology,
I state your name,
I,
do hereby affirm
do hereby affirm
to uphold the office of sophomore senator,
to uphold the office of sophomore
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. All right, juniors, where are you? Come on up.
Congratulations.
No, it's not my problem.
All right, would you raise your right hand? As a member of the Student Association Senate
As a member of the Student Association
of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology,
of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology,
I state your name.
I, David Simmons,
Do hereby affirm
do hereby affirm
to uphold the office of junior senator,
to uphold the office of junior senator,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. All right, seniors, last but not least, come on up. All right. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. As a member of the Student Association Senate,
Member of the Student Association Senate,
of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology,
of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology,
I state your name.
I, William Beal,
Do hereby affirm
do hereby affirm
to uphold the office of senior senator,
to uphold the office of senior senator,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. All right, we got that out of there. Resolution, now we're going to resolution number 25S005. This is in relating to the fiscal year 2026. To open, if you want to scroll down to the second page. There we go. Can you all see that all right? So this is the budget proposal for the 2026 fiscal year that is proposed by Vice President Wee and myself. As you see noted, we have $13,500 at the top that has been allocated to us through GAF. That is where we get our funding from. Fundraising, that amount in there of $3,000 is an estimate, as this past year, fiscal year 25, we fundraised $3,510. And that is a major thanks and support to Senator Leonard. She really did a great job with that. Going down, you see salaries there for the people on this committee. Previously, the president was paid $4,500, and in this resolution, the president would be paid $2,000. Vice president was previously paid $3,000, and in this resolution, $1,500. The CFO was cut in half from $3,000 to $1,500. Secretary was at $1,500, now going to $750. The committee chairs.
Point of clarification, what was the initial CFO salary?
$3,000.
Cut to 15?
Yes. Sorry, I moved. I apologize. Secretary would be from previously $1,500 going to $750. The committee chairs, previously at $750 apiece, there being 4 of them, now will be $450 apiece, with a total of $1,800 for that. This is the new part that comes in, and why there's been a cut, or a proposed cut, to these executive board salaries, is this proposal recommends a stipend or salary for all other senators, which would be 20 in total, $250 apiece, equating to $5,000 total, where previously there was none for other senators. That's the big change in this resolution. Is I feel as though that the General Senate body does really good work and should be in some way rewarded and maintain the expectation of that work. And I think that a stipend can help do that and justify them having the autonomy to complete that work that is expected of them. $250 isn't a lot, but it's about 10 meals at a Texas Roadhouse. So, I think that's something. Moving on downward, we get to SHED. That stands for Students for Higher Education. That's when we all go to peer. We lobby in front of the state lawmakers. For vehicles, that is 760 miles, right, total. 57 cents per mile. Comes out to be $433.20. And that's with taking 2 Suburbans. You go down to lodging there, 8 rooms approximately, and the price we paid this past year is $112. Comes out to $896. That's for 2 queen-size bedrooms. The state rate is $110 plus a $2 occupancy tax. Excuse me. Moving down to Student Federation. Federation dues are $450. That's what we have to pay to Student Federation. They are the governing body over the student senates of the VOR. That is non-negotiable to be a part of the Student Federation. Operations, we've planned in 40 people, because you sometimes have new people that are not on the Senate. So if you plan in just 40 people instead of say 25 or 30, at $17.50 per meal, it's $700. Prices vary. Selects for Dakota Butcher, that we came in under $90?
It was $400.
What, we came in under 90?
Yeah, we had other factors.
Okay, got it. So there's that included in there. Thank you, Senator Leonard, for getting that all completed. Discretionary, we calculated in $200. That's paper, plates, cups, candy, stuff like that, general stuff. And then also in here we have a rainy day fund of $1,000. And the intention for that is to have some security and sort of a cushion blanket on if we'd like to do anything, host anything, need any more people to go to SHED, or if we need to send people to pier, where there's a very important building and stuff like there was this year. We have the ability to do that. Ultimately, we're still left, after that budget is complete, we're still left with a surplus of $270 that can be put into the CARA account.
You have to
You have to use it,
feedback.
so yeah. So you'd have to use it, but ultimately, so we're not just breaking even, but you still have money to use. Meaning we can reinvest. The goal, mine and Vice President Weeds, is to reinvest into orbs do stuff with them, do fun stuff, just make it known that we're here to support them, so that way they can support us as well, right? This does not have to be passed today, does it? No. So, this is the first reading of this, we will see this next week, all right? Oh, excuse me. I'll read the resolution, how about that? S005, originated by myself, presented by myself. Whereas the Student Association President has created and presented the attached budget, which you just saw, for the 2026 fiscal year, noting the Student Association Senate has been awarded $13.5 by GAPAC for fiscal year 26. And therefore be it resolved by a 2/3 majority vote in the Student Association Senate and the signature of the President, myself, that the attached budget be adopted. Senator Leonard?
I'd like to reiterate my opposition to any senators having salaries. Y'all volunteer to be here, and all the board members are struggling, and they all do a lot of work and don't get paid for it. So I'm going to oppose any senators or Senate positions, including president, vice president, secretary, etc., having senator salaries.
Senator Kill?
I'd like to make a comment that I have thought that salaries were a good idea. Not necessarily that I want one or would even, might consider not accepting the awarded salary, but I do think that we spend a lot of time throughout the year trying to fill vacant positions, and we have elections where there's just enough people running to fill the positions, that having a little bit of carrot at the end of the stick might help.
Senator Smith?
I agree with Senator Keel in that salaries are good for positions like officers, boards, but if the only reason a senator is here is for the money, then that is the wrong reason.
Senator Burke?
With that gap fund, could that be redistributed to the boards? Like, even if you wanted it to?
So, correct me if I'm wrong, Corey, but I believe so. Each senator can disavow or give back their salary, including officers. And in that case, they can redistribute. I mean, if they take it, they can distribute it to any words that they want to, right? If it's your money, it's your money. Well,
I mean,
Corey?
it would set your allocated budget.
Right.
Right.
Unless
So-
they took.
Well, yes, I mean, if you accept a salary, it'll be paid to you. If you don't do those, then it will sit in your gap account. If you all do not spend it by the end of the fiscal year, then it will be liable to come into the
Senator Leonard?
My goal would be to get rid of salaries this year, so the customers down the line of not having salaries. So we can ask for less in future gas salaries.
Senator, not Senator. Somebody would have to yield time to decide. Senator Severson.
I yield my time.
Thank you.
I just want to note, we currently have several vacant senator positions that we need to be filled. And so the idea of being able to tell the student body that we understand that there's a lot that that the student body is doing, and being able to say that we want to help compensate for the amount of time that we also understand that this is going to take. And so that might draw more interest, and just because someone is interested because of the money, there are elections and there are interviews that do happen to weed out people who don't actually care about the position, but who are actually doing good. It just helps bring in more people. Take D1 versus D3 sports, you're going to, the teams are generally better, not because you better people, but because you have a lot more people going there, and so the odds of you being able to get something good goes up exponentially.
Would somebody like to yield their time to former Senator Wright?
I yield.
I
I guess, two parts. The first part is I've been on Senate for 5 terms, and this is something that was never presented to previous terms. And as somebody who was on the Finance Committee all of those terms, I think this is a good idea because even on other committees, like, student Senate takes a lot of time, for sure. Especially when we go to a competitive school like School of Mines where you have to keep up on your academics. Even though $250 is not a lot for a person, it would definitely make me as a senator feel appreciated, knowing that my weekends doing soap allocations are going towards something and that I'm being recognized for my efforts. And then the second part is, are there any other student senates in the BOR that have a similar system like this with salaries?
I would just say that I'm not as clear as to that answer, but that's something that I'm looking at. All right. Director Denton.
I can't speak on behalf of the system schools, and I would say every school across the country. There are schools where executives of student government is their existing members. So it's not necessarily specific to our institution.
Okay, Senator Justin first.
Okay, I just want to say that I'm new and I don't fully understand how this works, so my apologies if I get anything wrong here, but I wanted to say that I came into this position not with no notion of there being like a money attached to it, and I think that's great and that's what we want out of senators. However, on this very same hand, I think it's great because hearing like the way that I was elected, it sounded like there wasn't very much competition. And I would have liked there to have been more competition because I think it pushes people to try harder and to campaign harder and just ultimately get more people into it, because I think the more people that we have gunning for this position, the better chance that we might have someone who's willing to put in the work and the time and the effort. And from speaking with people deciding whether or not this was for me, that there is quite a time commitment. Now, I don't fully know this, but that is my understanding. And I think that seeing that they lowered the budget for the vice president and the president, done by the president, that I think that is remarkable and interesting to see that they're willing to step back on their side of things to give a piece to the smaller parties. And I just wanted to commend that.
Senator Meyer. Senator Meyer, and then somebody think about who you want to yield time to, former Senator. Thank you.
I was just going to comment that adding money is it can be an incentive for drawing bad people, but it's $250, and it's not for a college student. It's a lot, but it's not that much, and it gives people an obligation to the club. And it also gives people, we can hold them accountable for their work, and we can use that to encourage people to be their best. So that's.
Is somebody willing to yield their time to former Senator?
I yield my time. I yield my time.
Okay. Senator Fink.
I'd just like to add, as somebody who likes to volunteer. I'd just like to add that somebody who likes to volunteer a lot, especially being a volunteer firefighter, the point of a volunteer organization is not to be paid, but to do something better for your community, at this point be your constituents as a class. So I do personally believe it's a bad idea. I'm sure your administration will make an informed decision.
Senator Sessions.
So I agree with former Senator Fink in that regard, but many of my constituents are unhappy with receiving less soap allocations than in previous years, so I just feel that it'd be bad optics to give myself a raise as a sort of congratulatory measure, because in their eyes it's seen as taking the money from their account and just giving it to us, even though I know there's more intricate processes to that allocation.
Would somebody like to yield time to Senator, or incoming Senator Ballmeister?
I'll yield my time.
Senator Clausen.
I do want to respond initially to you, with regards to my future constituents of the Graduate Society, where I know that we have had an excess of surplus, not necessarily to the point where we have too much to do with it, but it's there have been conversation as to how we spend that. As well as I do want to say there is a difference between student association versus other organizations here on campus. Other organizations have a little bit more free will in terms of how much you actually put in. Their regulations here that determine how much time you actually need and you have to attend.
Senator Webb?
I agree with former Senator Fink. I also want to add that I'm not just in opposition to the new $250. I understand that it's not a lot of money. It's not. I'm in opposition to all Senate salaries, seen as giving my committee chair salary up, and I'll continue to homes believe. And I mean, the Board of Regents just raised all the tuition and fees, and so can you imagine adding that panic and upset that's going to come down on us next year, even though it was not our fault, on top of saying we've been given all senators salary, even though you removed part of your salary to do so, that is not going to be the optics of this. And I would, again, like to encourage us to set the precedent that this is a volunteer organization and that none of us do.
So here's something I'll add to that. I respectfully disagree on the fact that when you say the word volunteer organization, that to me is under the impression that I can volunteer my time whenever I feel like it. Whereas when you're an elected senator, you have expectations that you are to be at the Senate meetings, that you are to be an active participant, and this is something we can go over for expectations next week. But I think that distinguishes sort of volunteer organization and what Senate does as we approve their budgets and their operating standards. I'm on the Steel Bridge organization email list, and I can say I'm a volunteer for them, but I haven't attended one meeting. If that was me on Senate, I would have been impeached. With regards to the increase in the salaries and perception, I think as long as this body stands by what the truth is written, that the 13.5 is not changing, it's consistent, and that was not passed by me, that I think that students are not going to have a problem with it. That's just my understanding. Let's see here. Senator, yeah, I'll take, let's see. So we'll do Cool, Boucher, Smith, and then we'll be done, okay? We'll limit discussion after that. Cool? Yep.
Move to limit discussion.
What'd you say?
Move to limit discussion.
Move to limit discussion. Do I have a second? Senator Clausen? Okay. All in favor of limiting discussion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposing on the discussion? All right. Discussion. All right, so moving on, just a little bit of stuff here, not much. I'd like this time of open discussion to have introductions. And with that, we'll start at this end, we'll work our way around. Just state your name, your department that you hail from, great, and maybe an accomplishment you've had on the Senate or what you're looking forward to at this moment.
Okay, I'm Jordan Leonard. I am a third-year electrical engineering and computer science student. Last year I served as governmental relations committee chair. Just a fun fact about me. I was born here, I grew up in New York. I'm a member of the Army National Guard, and I'm always willing to play the devil's advocate, as you might have noticed. And I'm looking forward to just a good year, accomplishing a lot and making good changes to student body.
And thank you for not here right now.
You can say introduce yourself.
Okay, sure. So, am I introducing myself?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a freshman double E electrical engineer on
What's your
site.
name?
Yeah. My full name is Alexander Yamovich. I just usually go by Alex. I'm a freshman electrical engineer. Fun fact about me, I played hockey for 8 years of my life, and what I'm looking for is a great year at myself. Just have a great time.
My name is Carson. I'm a freshman IE. This is my first year. I'm from South Dakota. I've lived in Somerset pretty much my whole life. So, yeah. Oh, something I just wanted to comment is hopefully get South Dakota on the map more. I've lived here for 13 years, and I always feel like everyone always goes to the east side of the state. So kind of blows.
I'm Nolan Jessen. I'm a second year, gonna be third civil engineering student. Something I'm looking forward to is learning more about Student Senate and their business and being a voice for those that are around me.
Parker Smith. I'm a sophomore science, technology, and society major. If you don't know, that's the humanities building. I thoroughly enjoy SHED every year, so I'm excited for this next one, and I very much enjoyed this past year. And a fun fact about me is that I have touched 2 separate pieces of the Berlin Wall in 2 different continents.
My name is Luke Sessions. I am an imaginary engineer major and I guess a sophomore senator now. I just want to foster a culture of community and belonging on campus.
So I'm Vincent Butcher. I'm from Poland. I'm an IE. And yeah, I joined the Senate because I wanted to make change on campus. Yeah, I believe that this year is going to be, I don't know if it's going to happen this year, so looking forward to that.
I'm here, right?
Yep.
My name is Ryan Katz. I am a 3rd year physics major. Been on Senate for 3 years. And I think my favorite thing I've accomplished is what I'm working on now, and hopefully we can get it done by the end of the semester, is the dynamic scholarship list. And I guess a fun fact about me, if you don't know, I work underground at the Sanford Underground Research Facility. And also, I'm from New Jersey, so a long ways away from home.
North or south?
South Jersey.
Okay.
Like, go Birds.
I'm Nate Severson. I am from Minneapolis, Minnesota area. I am a molecular biology student, currently a sophomore. I served on the PR committee this year, and I'm looking forward to doing it next year as well.
I'm Connor Clausen. I am a freshman ME. I served as the Student Association Chairman this last semester. Had a lot of fun with that. I was kind of dragged in here, but I've actually thoroughly enjoyed it. And we passed a lot of stuff, and I'm kind of excited to see how that turns out next year, kind of restructure student affairs a little bit. And I guess a fun fact about me, I'm in the Air National Guard, so I have to go to the east side of the state once a month.
I'm Storm King. I'm a 3rd year ME going on to be the senior senator. I'm obviously new to Senate, and I'm interested in learning how it works and representing my people. And the fun fact about me is I might be the one guy in this room who likes East River better.
I'm with you.
Whoa! That's my words.
Motion of no confidence.
I'm Austin Meyer. I'm a junior in mechanical engineering. Fun fact about me, I'm a twin, identical, and I think my goal is to invest in the community of the school and bring people together and bring in school spirit. Not only helping out future generations for alumni that love this place, but they actually want to plant here and get jobs and build companies here and invest in the community.
Yep, cool. Josiah Baumeister. I'm an electrical engineer. 2nd year, senior, accelerated master's student. I'm here because Jake, Clyde, and Jax insisted badgering about taking this position.
And yeah, I really do hope to understand this community and being able to represent the graduate society that we have a city portion of.
I'm Jack Halstead. I'm an electrical engineering student here. Second year, I'm a junior. Let's see, I'm here because I want to make this rigorous campus a little more enjoyable. You know, what I'm learning is fun, but I want it to be more enjoyable while I'm doing it, and hopefully we can make a change along the way. Fun fact about me, I'm a pilot. I'm going into the Navy Reserve PTCP program here to be an officer and secure a pilot spot for the Navy. And I like to run and exercise, and yeah.
I'm Will Keel. I'm a junior civil engineering student. I'll be the senior senator next year. I've been on the Constitution Committee and the head of the Safety and Security Ad Hoc Committee. I like doing work on both those and hope to continue to do that. And I was on PR one time too.
I'm Danny Larson, second year mechanical engineering student from Powell, Wyoming. I take part in the ROTC program. I'm a member of the National Guard, and I'm also on the cheer team here at Lions. I think I'm most looking forward to potentially providing better representation for both the ROTC program and the Veterans Club collectively. Yeah.
Hello everybody, my name is Mary Seidman. I have served as the Public Relations Committee Chair for the past 2 years, and this past year I served as the Vice President of Student Federation, which is like Senate for the Senates across the state if you're not aware. And this coming year I'll be serving as your secretary, so I get to bug you with emails. I think on Senate I've been really proud of the work that we did this year with legislative session. I felt like we represented the student body very well. And we did our due diligence, and I felt very proud of our work that we did there. And coming year, I hope to get minutes out in a moderately timely fashion.
I'm Jonathan Shaw. I'm from Salem, South Dakota. Last year, I was the sophomore senator. I served on the finance committee. This year, I'll be CFO, and I look forward to reworking the SOAP application to make it more streamlined and easy to navigate.
Yeah. My name is Clive Wade. I'm a junior in mechanical engineering going to my senior year. I've been on Senate since my freshman year. First served on the Student Affairs Committee, and then I chaired the Constitution Committee, and I was Vice President last year, and then foolishly decided to become Vice President again this year. But I'm really excited. I guess the biggest highlight from last year was planning Shed, and then going to Shed. That was a lot of fun. And this year, I really look forward to building a closer relationship with staff on campus. I think, you know, we as students often feel that we're like a separate entity from everyone else on campus, but I think when we bridge that gap and start communicating with staff and faculty, we can get a lot of stuff done. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm Jacob Ofsted. I'm current student senate president. I come from Sioux Falls. I'm a junior chemical engineering student, going to be a senior next year. And decided to take the lead and run for Senate president. That was a pretty big leap. I've only been on the Senate 1 year now officially. So getting into the role of things, getting into the room of things. And I guess I'm looking forward to all of the exciting change that we have the ability to do. Impacting people. I'm all about people, cultivating relationships, friendships, partnerships, whatever you want to call it. With industry, with city partners, with state legislature, I love people and the opportunities that people can give each other to uplift each other. So I think that I'm most excited about that, how we can do that and be effective leaders throughout not only mines, but at the state level as well. Shed, that was probably my favorite part of the year as well, getting to interact with all of us, finding people there.
Hello everyone, Corey Utley, I'm the Director of Student Engagement from Douglas, Wyoming originally. In my 13th year senator this coming fall. And I just always look forward to student association. I was a senator when I was an undergrad and served on the exec board there, and always had a passion for the power that the student association has. And I think it's the same with this campus as it is all. So it's always great to see what you've been accomplishing here. I'm looking forward to what you've accomplished together next year.
Hey everyone, Joe Lugos. I am your Dean of Students and co-advisor for Student Senate with Director Headley. I'm from Connecticut, it's my hometown, and my major, when I went to school, was a double major, English and theater, no humanities. I never took one chemistry class, never took one biology class. The highest math my transcript is math 103. Yeah, I did not serve Student Senate when I was an undergraduate. I did have to go to one meeting once I was an RA when we were trying to bring a psychic to campus. And it was bigger than my RA budget, so I went to Student Senate to ask for funding. I think it was like $1,000 at the time, and they said yes. I didn't realize that she was a psychic medium. So she like talks to people who passed on, and instantly she was like, "Oh, you over here, you lost your little white dog last week." The girl starts crying. But yes, and fun fact, I have once been to SERP. I did see Senator Kantz down there working. Not my thing. I don't want to be a mile underground wearing a hard hat. But glad to be with you guys for the next year.
All right. So moving on, we have the Chief Financial, we got a comment from guest Fink. Open discussion. Severson, you'll be talking, okay.
Hello. I come to you during your meeting as my name is Gustus Fink, by the way. I come as a representative of the South Dakota Mines athletics students. I was wondering, the former administration had been looking into adding an athletic seat for people in multiple sports, that way they could be better represented, and I was wondering what your administration would do going forward with that information.
Yep, so looking at that, I know that was discussed in quite some detail in President Archer's administration. We're going to continue looking at the best practices and how we can execute that, because I think that athletics representation is a vital factor for the school and for this administration. So that's just a matter of developing the best possible path of whether there's, like President Archer discussed, 2 senators, but one is, for a certain amount of time or rotating. We're going to be looking more into details of how we effectively yet seamlessly have an athletic representation that's consistent. So we'll be keeping you updated on that in the coming weeks. Vice President Lee?
Are you representing SAC?
No, I do not stand.
Okay.
I'm just here as myself.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Any other open discussion? All right.
I'm proud to say where I'm from. And I completely disagree with you. I'm from Yankton. I graduated there. I've lived around the country, and I just can't stand. I love the west side of the state. So going forward, I'll probably try to find something with more elevation.
Boys,
here we go, sir. I just want to say I also did forget to say I'm from Colorado, and if you're looking for elevation, we got the mountains, and these are hills, dude.
Hey, there you go. Seeing no more open discussion, is there any Chief Financial Officer report?
Yes, I got the transition report. I'm looking forward to reading that, and then I look forward to having a great year with you guys.
Any questions or comments for CFO Shaw? Seeing none, moving on to the Vice President's report.
I did not receive the transition report. Yeah, I do look forward to working with y'all. I'm really excited. I think we have some great minds here and a lot of motivation, so I'm looking forward to working with y'all. Even just for the next 2 weeks, so.
Any questions for Vice President Wood? Seeing none. My report, I have not received a transition report yet. Looking forward to that. A lot of you guys know my vigor and I guess excitement to be on this body to help lead and to really give you guys the tools that you need to lead. Delegation's going to be huge, autonomy, and just letting you guys really do what you do best. Have the passion to make this place a better place for everybody. So, any questions from our board? Seeing none. Moving on to upcoming Senate business, we have some resolutions coming up next week, as well as the resolution that will be revised that we'll look through this week for the special senators is what they're called. We'll be getting that to you next week. Team building activities, I think that to be a good team, you should get to know who you're working with. It's sports, it's everybody's. So we're looking at some team building activities, just fun nature stuff, not having to do with school, not having to do with Senate, but just get to know you, your working styles, all that. That should be a fun time. And then we'll be sending out an email as well in the coming few days here probably about interest gauging of committee assignments, Constitution, governmental relations, student affairs, public relations, and Constitution, governmental affairs, public relations, student affairs, and finance. Most important one, CFO got me. All right, so that's what you can look forward to next week. Senator Butcher?
When will and how will the chairs for those committees be assigned?
So that would be an appointment by 5 9. Yeah. You can, we'll look at track records, experience, interest, all of those factors will come into it. Announcements that I have, before I announce my announcement, any announcements for any of you? No? Oh?
Track meet Friday.
All right. Track meet. Senator Bowles.
I actually do look forward to finally getting sworn in next week.
Amen. All right, the announcement that I have. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, Joe.
Yeah. We discussed this as a smaller group earlier, but wanted to share with the larger group, and please pass it along to other students you come in contact with. A lot of the state legislation that was talked about impacting the state universities here, that won't go into effect until July 1st. Probably the most sensitive one of that was Senate Bill 100 that allows for the concealed carry of pistols and tasers. But just because it was passed and signed by the governor's office, it still won't go into effect until July 1. So students can still have their handgun either locked in the safety office, locked in their car, but they cannot be concealing it on the person until July 1. And even then, they need that enhanced permit. So I just wanted to have that reminder. We've had a couple hiccups so far. No one's doing it to be malicious. It's truly a misunderstanding. So please continue to pass that along.
Senator Levin?
I've also seen students be confused by this that timeline already and have to be asked to leave buildings and such. Would it be in the student status body best interest or someone at the school to email students letting them know that it is not going to affect until a specific date? Do you think it's going to change the issue?
Yeah, I think that either the student senate body or such as, the administration, whether it be student engagement or other people within the administration can inform the students of that. We'll be getting on top of that. So I think it gets stopped. All right, any other announcements? I got one. There's going to be a little inauguration party tonight, 8 p.m. at the Lodge. In the that's where I live at. The email that I sent you all earlier this morning, I apologize, it was like 1 a.m. It's got the address, 8 to 10 to the party, come on out. Light drinks and some snacks. And yeah. Any motions? Senator Clausen. Motion to adjourn. Seconded by Senator Butcher. All in favor of adjournment say aye. Aye. All those opposed?